7 o'clock, let's call the meeting to order, please. Everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Here.
Melissa?
Present.
Olszewski?
Here.
Reyes?
Here.
Montgomery?
Here.
Lewis?
Here.
Seeley? Here. The quorum is established.
Any amendments to tonight's agenda? No presentations. We do have a public hearing. So for the record, I will read this. We're going to public hearing for Dover Development LLC has filed an application requesting authorization of an amendment to the existing Cannonball Trails Planned Unit Development and Annexation Agreement for the purpose of constructing a new 2-story assisted living with memory care facility. The petitioner seeks to amend the previously approved exhibits in the planned unit development to incorporate a revised conceptual site plan and to allow for all uses that are currently permitted in the B1 Local Business District, B2 Retail Commerce Business District, and O Office District, specifically and without limitation to assisted living and memory care, adult daycare facilities, and medical office uses. Additional requested amendments to the planned unit development and annexation agreement relate to expiration of recapture payments, requirements for certain public infrastructure improvements, and site signage. The real property consists of approximately 6.7 acres and is generally located at the northeast corner of US Highway 34 and Cannonball Trail in Yorkville, Illinois. So with that, we'll open the public hearing, and Mr. Schultz, you have something to present?
Good evening. I'm Jordan Dorsey. I'm with Dover Development and Cedarhurst Living. As you just stated, we're proposing a 73-unit assisted living and memory care facility at Cannonball Trail and Highway 34. We've got a color rendering here. This is sort of what it will look like. 53 units will be assisted living and 20 units will be memory care, which is a portion of the building that is devoted to residents with Alzheimer's and related dementias. It's an approximately $12 million project, huge tax generator, and by all accounts we've seen it's a huge need in this community, and we're really excited to be here. So I'll limit it to that. I'm happy to answer any other questions that anybody has.
Okay, are there any questions from the public on this development? Any questions from the council? Chris?
I just want to follow up on our conversation from EDC. Has staff had a chance to discuss it, or Dave, have you had a chance to discuss the questions we had regarding signage and some of the other comments that I have brought up in EDC?
Yes, I did discuss it with Dave a little further. The signage is going to, especially at the public hearing that we had with the Planning and Zoning Commission, is going to remain as presented, and it was recommended with the staff's recommendation of the phasing of the signs. They are looking at probably putting a maximum height or some type of signage plan to present to the council, but they will not have them as an exhibit to the actual agreement because it may change in some shape or form, maybe material, maybe over the signage area. They did present some at the EDC meeting, but they just wanted to give you an idea of what type of signage they are proposing. And then you had a question about sidewalk extension as well. That's something that engineering is looking at. I don't know necessarily if we can require that. We couldn't have it as a trigger and upon that second.
Right, which is good. Now, on the signage, I understand that if we were to attach the signage as an exhibit, it's conceptual, it can change, no problems. Was there any discussion on the height in terms of reducing the height from the 12-foot requested down to something that's more fitting with the neighborhood?
And actually, that 12-foot dimension is the width. So it's about 7 feet, almost 8 feet high. I actually have an exhibit if you'd like to
Right,
look
which,
at it.
if it's the same as what was presented in EDC, it's fine. What's in the packet is significantly larger than what was presented. What was presented to me would be acceptable for the size of the signs in that neighborhood. fitting with what's around there, but the language in the agreement is, I believe it was 10 by 15 or 12 by 15. That seems a little excessive, but the architecture that was presented is fitting. So that's where I'm comfortable, that's why I'm asking about that.
Yes, what's presented is actually a maximum size, but again, they have committed to a size that's going to be about 7 or 8 by 15, 7 being the height, 8 being the height, and that's from the crown of the road. They just did not want to include that as an attachment, as an exhibit.
But would that language be revised from what's in the packet?
As of now, the Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend the language as it's presented now, and that's will be presented to the council on the 28th, and their
That'll be
recommendation is
presented in 2
forwarded.
weeks. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Do you have a rough idea of the number of employees that'll be here?
Yeah, between 30 and 40 full-time employees on 3 different shifts. So 10 to 15 in the building at any given time.
Anyone else?
There's one more clarification.
Yes.
In the draft attachment of the annexation agreement language, we are going to revise that to clarify that the term of this agreement will be 20 years from the date of the First Amendment, which was in October of 2008. So this agreement would run into 2028.
Okay, well, thank you, gentlemen. It's definitely a welcome and needed facility. Thank you very much. And we will close public hearing. Next, we have citizen comments on items that are on the agenda this evening. Do we have any citizens that would like to comment on anything that is on the agenda? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Wilson.
Aye.
Machuski.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Rivers.
Aye.
Wackenhauser.
Aye.
Cook.
Aye.
Teeling.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting of January 10th, 2017 as presented.
Second.
Any comments, questions, or corrections on the minutes? All those in favor of approving as presented, please state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, no mayor's report, no public works committee report, economic development, public safety or admin committee reports. Under park board, I'll entertain a motion to approve an ordinance authorizing the Fourth Amendment to the annual budget for the fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2016 and ending on April 30th, 2017, and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute.
So moved.
Second. Comments or questions?
Just to be clear, so right now, as this is presented, there's a deficit, but the deficit is looking like it's going to end up around $60,000 as compared to the 160. Is that what it was? Off the top, without looking in the packet.
Yeah, in general, yes.
So an improvement in the deficit, but out of that, we're looking to incur an additional $53,000 of deficit spending by the amendment.
Correct.
So we're still, if this is approved, we are still in a deficit spending situation for the Parks and Rec budget, for this line.
Correct.
Okay, so we're looking to spend 53. What is the purpose of the new mower? I know it's for mowing. Do we have one that's failing? Do we have more areas?
We
What's
have
the
2
intent?
mowers that mow our big parks like Rotary, Beecher, Bristol Bay 65, and we have 2. One is completely shot, and it's $5,000 to $7,000 to fix it, and it's going to keep breaking. The other one is 8 years old and not in great shape either. So we need a new one to maintain all the parks that we have to maintain every year. And then we're just going to keep it because we can still use parts off of it to help fix the 8-year-old one, the 10-year-old one. we can
Okay,
use
so that's what I was going to ask, is why
Yes.
we're not trading one in.
Yes, it's not worth trading in for what we get, that it's more valuable to us to continuously take parts off of that as
Okay.
the second older one we can replace with easily then.
Okay, I just wanted to double check, because I know the Parks and Rec department is doing much better than it has in the past, but obviously we're still spending in deficit, so it's okay with me.
Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Ritters,
Aye.
Lewis,
Aye.
Wilson,
Aye.
Monpezor,
Aye.
Luschewski,
Aye.
Teeling,
Aye.
Vogt.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Nothing from planning and zoning, no city council report, city clerk's report, any community and liaison reports. Staff reports,
No reports?
under presentations, the Leo Pardo presentation is going to be put off until May. Bart reached out to him and just explained to him that we're going to have 2 new aldermen as a minimum come May, and we're in the process of getting our purchasing manager on board. So we ask that they come back in May and they can do a full presentation in May.
If I could add into that.
Yes.
I did speak with them about this. This did come from committee to the council here for the fact that the committee thought it would be a good idea for Leo Pardo to provide a presentation to us on what the program is, how it functions, and what the opportunities are for that. I think everybody was given a copy via email of the study that they had prepared, which outlines it. But through the committee, we felt that it would be good to have them come out here and thoroughly explain how this program works and why we've been discussing it since May of last year. With that, the petitioner, or not the petitioner, the consultant was afforded about 10 minutes to make a presentation here, which is concerning. It took about 45 minutes to present into committee. And so here, 10 minutes to go through that was not sufficient time. The consultant, Leo Pardo, was well aware that there is an election and that we are deficient 1 alderman from resignation because that alderman was actually on the committee when this started. So, in all fairness, this is not necessarily something that Leo Pardo did not want to present tonight. They were willing to come here, but due to the time allocation of 10 minutes, with my discussions with them, it was not appropriate for them to present in a abridged amount of time. It just would not have been beneficial. So time constraints being that, it was something that Leo Pardo did not, with my discussions with them, feel that it would be beneficial to be here tonight to present. So against the will of the committee, there will not be a presentation obviously tonight.
Well, if anyone wants to watch the 45-minute version, it's videotaped. Anyone can watch the videotape for the 45 minutes. So if anyone wants to see it this minute, they can watch the video. Any additional business? I did have a couple things. Is Rob here this evening? Hiding behind Christie? I did want to congratulate Rob for the 6th year in a row. We are awarded the Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for our CAFR. Now I'll read the first paragraph here from the press release. The Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting has been awarded to the United City of Yorkville by the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada for its comprehensive annual financial report. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting, and its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by government and its management. So Rob, job well done. I mean, 6 times in a row. I hate to say we get tired of winning awards, but it's awfully nice to be recognized. Good job.
Thank you.
A quick update on another item. Just this past Friday, Congressman Holmgren had a breakfast for all the mayors of the 14th district, just to give us an update on what's going on in Washington and, open up to any questions or concerns that we may have. And I did talk to him about our situation with the special census. He's reached out to the Census Bureau. There's no update as of yet. They're trying to, and for the background on it, we're due to have a special census this spring. We sent the Census Bureau a check for $108,000. We covered the full cost of the census, including any special census takers. Unfortunately, we were notified, about 2 weeks ago, that due to the president's hiring freeze on federal employees, the Census Bureau will not be hiring any special census takers, even though we pay the salaries of them. So Congressman Holker is looking into it. Hopefully they can find a workaround, or at least give us our $108,000 back at a minimum. But I did bring it up to the group of mayors, hoping that maybe someone else was in the same situation. And the mayor from Volo, who I met for the first time, mentioned that they were in a similar situation, and they were notified that they were stopping their census as well, but they were just called early last week to go ahead and keep going through the process. So we reached out to their city administrator in hopes that maybe we could get ours going again. But the reason they got going again is because they were further along in the process. They already had offered letters out to special census takers. So since the hiring process was already midstream, they were allowed to go through with the hiring process. So unfortunately, the Volo situation didn't help us out. So we'll keep on it. I contacted the congressman's office again just yesterday and waiting to hear back again. So hopefully we get some news on it.
You said the $108,000 that we paid covers the special census takers?
Yes, and we have to pay 100% of the costs involved in the special census. Yeah. But you have to remember, we stand to lose between now and the next census about $600,000 the way taxes are allocated in Illinois. So I mean, we're potentially not gaining $15,000 a month that we would be getting. Because we've added about 400 homes and over 1,000 residents since last census.
No, I understand. That's why
Yeah.
we voted for that too.
Right. So, yeah, hopefully we get one thing or the other.
Why don't we go to court?
It's an option, I guess. So, but by the time it's resolved in court, the next census will be done.
Yeah.
Said we're not in the Ninth Circuit.
Okay, that's all I have for additional business. We do have executive session this evening for litigation, property acquisition, and personnel. And after executive session, there's no further action taken, but we will have citizen comments. So we'll adjourn to executive session.